Yes! Woo! Man, am I excited for this new season. We finally got to see the drivers, woo! Driving fast, woo! Driving slick, woo! And even driving shit, woo! I'm just really, really happy to be doing this again. But anyway, what's up, Buttercup? What happened in the weekend? Well, firstly, we had Antonio Giovinazzi replacing Pascal Wehrlein in short notice because the German felt unfit to race. It doesn't matter how hard they try, it seems that Sauber can't resist having 3 drivers. Then we had Jolyon Palmer smashing the wall in free practice too, and being all sad about it. Then we had Lance Stroll rubbing the boundaries hard on FP3, which won't help his image at all. Just warning now, if I see any Maldonado/crashing jokes in the comments, I'm gonna block your ass. Not kidding. And to top it all off, we had Smiley Boy, Shui Devil, Local Hero, Daniel Ricciardo going sideways and then backwards into the barrier in Q3. He'd qualify 10th, but eventually start 15th because of a gearbox change. The starting grid was Hamilton, Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Grosjean, Massa, Sainz, Kvyat, and Perez, who moved up a place with Ricciardo's penalty. Stroll could only manage 19th, but he too was demoted after a gearbox change, which meant that Palmer, the slowest car on the grid with 6 seconds off the pace, would fortunately not start last. But that didn't stop him from complaining about how he was given a crappy car. Remember kids, always blame the team. It worked for Paul di Resta. The tried and true tradition of terrible tribulations in this race for Red Bull continues. 3rd time's the charm. Avert your gaze, lest you be permanently blinded by this disgrace. What an action-packed grid walk.
Wow, it can only get better.
Martin Brundle, you fool! How dare you tempt fate? What are you doing, Daniel? Spare cars are illegal! Oh my god, these are beautiful! I gotta get a pair on my own! Kvyat's car is trying to extinguish the fire of its loins.
That's got to be one of the most beautiful color schemes on the grid.
Agree to disagree. What a kind and somewhat likable gentleman. The poor thing looks so desolated. I'm feeling really bad for him. Jumbo, yes! FOM? Are you okay? I am gonna take that as a no. Oh no, you're so young! You don't deserve to suffer this much pain! Wow, these new cars are so much bigger than I expected. No! Ah! Oh no, I'm not calling Chris this time around. Now we bought us in 3rd place. Come on, it's too early to turn on the pink car. Perez! The 2017 Formula 1 season is go when Lewis Hamilton stays in 1st place, while a lot of people lock up in turn 1 with Giovinazzi and Stroll kicking up some dirt. While down the road in turn 3, Magnussen spins Ericsson around, and so the order remains mostly as it began. What an awesome overtake! I bet we'll be seeing a lot of those. Monkey see, monkey do. Well, if it isn't Mr. Tardy finally coming to join the party.
I'm going to keep going with this optimism.
Yes.
Throughout the entire season, I'm going to wear you down by happy to happy.
Hey, who let Crofty break the 4th wall? New era, new graphics, same old FOM. Here we see one of the most humiliating overtaking maneuvers. The unlapper. Other people are good at overtaking too, you know. 10 laps in, fastest lap, still within 2 seconds of Lewis? Are Ferrari actually good? Please let it be true, my lord! Canadian boy wonder just strolling past the Sauber. I hope you're ready for a whole entire year of this. The papaya jambalaya is working well, as expected. Jolyon Palmer, slowly on Palmer, same difference. Wait, there's no graphics on the screen. Not even the F1 logo on the corner. This footage is mine now, bitch! Ha 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 ha! Can't catch me! Na 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 na! Beep beep. Jolyon Palmer, slowly on Palmer, now stoply on Palmer. These jokes are just as bad as the driver. Nice! Hamilton's in the pits. Now I can enjoy this sweet, short-lived taste of having a Ferrari in the lead. Jolyon Palmer, now retiredly on Palmer. Fucking shoot me, seriously. Wait, who do I trust around here? You got some double think stuff going on now. Cheeky Checo, breaking noses and striking poses. Ka-chow! Max, you know you're stuck where you are, right? So be a good boy and hold up Lewis for us, alright, son? I'll give you a cookie if you do a good job. I guess the Sauber was being left out here in the background. There's nothing funny here, but I just wanted to point out that this is some absolutely beautiful camera work. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Time to cry in despair again. Wait. What? What the fuck are you doing? Stay put, or Oka will be my only son! This is some great framing. Keeps the highlights in the bigger picture, and then slowly zooms in to focus on the outcast. It's like a Jean-Luc Godard movie, but way less pretentious. Save the tables! Won't somebody please think of the tables? Wait, shit, I completely forgot that Rakuten was also up there. Well, anyway, he's spitting, now Venom's in the lead, and... The waffle stuffs it as Agent Orange rattles on. Happy birthday to you! Another quality race for the Honey Badger as his weekend began miserable, then turned into pain, and then ended in more pain.
Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso completing the top 10.
Did I hear that right?
Fernando Alonso completing the top 10.
Can you hear the points, Fernando? The next time you bang on a table, you're gonna get a splinter up your... Hey! Look, it's Ricardo walking. This is actually a very nice shot. It's very intimate. Tells a tragic story of defeat, of sadness, of pain, of tears, of a joke that's been dragged on for too long. You slipped, but I shall refrain from saying any bad words about you because you've done rather well so far. I think some of that paper got stuck on Lance's brakes. And that sees Charlie's son done for the day. The Blue Meanie is hunting down Princess Bubblegum! Fuck off, Blue Meanie! Thank you so much, Sab. You're being real good today. Now go in! And so, the bald eagle falls flat on its face yet again. Ketchup and mustard and strawberry ice cream are hunting down the rotten orange. Delicious! What the fuck did I just... What the... What? I mean, what?
There is something wrong with the car.
Oh, please, tell us something new.
It's pulling to the left. Something on the suspension, maybe.
Well, I guess that counts. Well, aren't you glad to finally end this torture?
I will leave you alone. Push like an animal. We can reach Barrett's. Push like a man animal.
Yes, do it like they do on planet Earth. Uh-huh, Banksy ain't got shit on these guys.
How much faster is the fastest lap?
Too fast.
Curb your ambition, boy. All this time, and only now you use this camera. Great use of equipment, Chase. Oh my god, it's been so long since the last time. I think I forgot how to do this. No, wait. No, I got this. And in the end, the winner of the 2017 Australian Grand Prix is... Sebastian Vettel! Haha, Moscow. Hey, Moscow. Hey! What is this? Who let this happen? Who opened the floodgates? Find that person and punch them in their opinion! We really don't need this now, do we?
We'll move across to second place, Lewis Hamilton, who did everything right. He did everything right. Come on, Australia.
Hey now, that's not very nice. I mean, I share the sentiment, but there's no need to externalize it like that. Damn it, Australia, you and your lack of Fosters. I literally could not have asked for a better start to a season. Well, actually, I could, but anyway, this is just the best. Looking back, the race was actually pretty boring. There was no action. There were barely any overtakes. But I don't fucking care! For I won! And we must also remember to praise Max's great blocking efforts. Thanks, Max. Thanks. I'll send your cookie in the mail. But I think now I think I need to lie down for a bit. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you on the next race.